Listen up, recruits! I'm Gunnery Sergeant Felix Lubezki, host of SL Tonight, delivering EC war stories straight from the front lines of fear. Dive into twisted battlefield tales where heroes meet horror, soldiers battling unimaginable foes, betrayed comrades, striking shadows, and costly victories. Inspired by classic EC comics, each episode drags you into terror's trenches with gut-punching twists. Got the guts? Stick around. In war, survival's no guarantee. Fall in for tonight's tale.
Faggots, drop your gear and tune in! I am your host, Gunnery Sergeant Felix Lubezki, and you have tuned into SL Tonight! Tonight we aren't reading bedtime stories, we're cracking open EC war stories! Two-Fisted Tales issue number 21! We've got communists hiding in the Korean mud! We've got Romans stabbing each other in the back! And we're freezing our asses off in an Arctic naval hell! Do you have what it takes to watch? Then lock it in, soldier! Dismissed!
Listen up, maggots! This is Felix Lubezki on SL Tonight, and tonight we're storming the trenches with EC Comics' Raw War Tales from Two-Fisted Tales issue number 21, charging in from May-Jun 1951. No glory, no bull, just the gritty truth from Harvey Kurtzman, Jack Davis, Wally Wood, and the unit. If you think history's clean, these stories dirty you up. Lock and load, let's read. Along the border of the Yalu River, the Korean War still festers. In unoccupied Korea, from Hongyan to Wonsan, the hills swarm with North Korean guerrillas. 2 jeep loads of United Nations soldiers are traveling to Hwason, traveling the coast road up from Kosong, traveling right into North Korean ambush. Observe, there are 2 vehicles instead of 1. It's just as well. Take care not to fire until they strike the mine. Say, Captain, hadn't there been some guerrilla activity going on in here? Isn't there any danger? Can't tell. We chased most of them into the hills, but keep your carbine ready anyhow. Relax, pretty boy. You don't seem to be worried much, Lucky. How do you do it? Well, I'll tell you. Pretty boy, the secret is all up here, inside my helmet lining. What do you mean up there? Here, let me show you. See? Cupid doll tied in a webbing. That's my good luck Cupid doll. Carried it through the campaign. I've been in 1,000 tight squeezes from Tagu to the Yalu River, and I haven't been scratched once. I know what all is here, lucky little Cupid doll. Because that's the kind of luck you're banking on, Lucky. You can keep it. Say, look at the cut we're passing through. It'd make a perfect It's an ambush! Captain's Jeep hit a mine. Back this buggy out of here. They got us in a crossfire. There they are, up there. Grab that wheel. Elizondo's been hit. Captain, it was a mine. We hit a mine. You alright, Captain? Don't know, Lucky. Are we all here? Captain, it's Kraus. He's smashed into the Jeep. Smashed flat. The rear Jeep, Sergeant Cannon's Jeep. What happened to it? It's back there, turned over in the ditch. They must have skidded into the ditch. They're firing from above. We're like sitting ducks. We can't stay here. What do we do, Captain? We'll have to hightail it for the ditch where the others are. That ditch is the only cover in sight. Come on, pretty boy. Let's go. Come on, Lucky. Come on, pretty boy. Come on, Boyle is hit. Captain Boyle is hit. Attaboy, Lucky. You made it, pretty boy. Keep your head down. Lucky, you no-count son of a gun. You done it again. You came through that mine without a scratch. A little Cupid doll. That's what did it, Tex. As long as I have her, they can't touch me. Cupid doll. Carl's dead under your Jeep. Captain Boyle dead. Manny Alonzo dead at the wheel of our Jeep. 5 out of 8 of us left, and you talk about Cupid dolls. God in heaven, how are we going to get away from here? Sonny's right, man. We're pinned down and we won't get help unless we can get a message to camp. And there's only one way. This ditch hides us from direct fire to the bend in the road. Someone will have to crawl along the ditch and then make a run for it along the road. Once he reaches the trees, he'll be okay. I'll do it, Sergeant. Alright, pretty boy. Leave all your equipment, except your carbine here. Travel light. Good luck, and hurry. Right. Well, here goes nothing. Keep going, pretty boy. Zigzag, Winarski. They got pretty boy. Now there's just the four of us. Keep your heads down. They're throwing grenades. Don't let me down, Cupid doll. Don't let any grenades fall in this ditch. Wham! Jumps for it, dives, grabs it, hurls it back. Shot in the chest. Sergeant Cannon, he's dead. We're all gonna die like fish in a barrel. Three of us will rot here. Well, I won't rot. I'm gonna run. While you guys rot, I'll be home. I'll run. They won't get me. Get down, Sonny. You gone loco? Kid's gone battle happy, Tex. Drag him down here. Let me go. Let loose. Can't you see we have to run? I can't hold him, Lucky. Duck before they get us all. That crazy idiot. He'll never make it. Poor kid. Ain't never seen any action. Kid! He's dead, Lucky. He's dead. Why do they keep pumping bullets into him when he's dead? Well, Tex, now there's just you and me. That Cupid doll of yours better start a praying for the both of us, Lucky. Things don't look so good. Listen, Tex, they stopped firing. Why'd they do? Say, old Lucky Cupid doll, you come through again. Might be the break we need. They think they've wiped us all out. What in the... Hush, don't make a sound, Tex. We'll play dead and maybe they'll show themselves. Here they come. Must be about 10 of them. Don't move. I got the sear filed down on my carbine. It'll fire like a burp gun. Always wanted to try it. They're firing, shooting bullets in a cat and bull's body to make sure he's dead. They can't get away with this, the dirty... I'll show you who's ambushing who. Let's get them, Tex. Just two of them left standing, Tex. Tex! I can take care of you two by myself. You can't touch me. I'm protective of my Cupid doll. Busted my carbine on your buddy's head, but I still have my trench knife. Didn't quite tag you out, did I? You can't touch me. My lucky charm won't let you touch me. Soldier, we heard firing. All these dead men. What happened here? Haha, I told him my Cupid doll would save me. I'm the only one alive. This is my lucky Cupid doll. Inside the hell... Say, this isn't my helmet. Pretty boy Winarski's. He must have switched helmets in the confusion when we hit the mine. He's been wearing my helmet all the time. I think this is your helmet over here, and if this is the guy who's wearing it, it's called Pretty Boy. Well, he ain't pretty anymore. Seems that a bullet hit your helmet right where your good luck charm is tied. Went through the helmet, through your good luck charm, and through Pretty Boy's face. The end. The story began in Carthage on the coast of Africa, opposite the Italian boot. This was the southern boundary of the dying Roman Empire. In a sports amphitheater, a man lay in his own blood, begging for his life. This was the decadent sport of the decadent. Pigs of the Roman Empire. Mercy, master! Mercy! Your slave put up a good fight, Decius. He served you well. Give the sign to let him live. Ha! I have gambled heavily on the dog, and now he's lost the contest. What say you, Brennus, my silent wise man? Shall I let him live? I think, master, that this sport disagrees with my stomach. And I think you might leave off drinking and turn your attention to the west, where the Vandal barbarians are marching upon us. Brennus, you speak boldly for a slave. Take care lest I decide to change you from wise man to a gladiator like that fool down there who begs for his life. You wouldn't like to end up, Brennus, like that. Thumbs down. Swamp! By the gods, what a stroke. He severed the head. I'll have to send that fellow a bag of gold. Ho, more wine. Ho ho, Brennus, you look sick. Is it the sport or the fear of the Vandal barbarians that make you faint? the Vandals, uncivilized scum. The Roman army shall deal with them. But the Roman army did not deal with the Vandals. Like a tide, the Vandal hordes, down from Europe through Spain and across the Strait of Gibraltar, swept along the African coast to Carthage. Commander Decius! Commander Decius! Assemble your legion. The Vandals are upon us. Even now they are an hour's march from the city. What? This is barbarians interrupting my sport. We shall have to give them a taste of well-trained army. Come, Brennus, there is a new sport in the offing. May I suggest, Master, that the wine has made your condition a bit, unsteady. Ha, Brennus, wine to me is like lifeblood. Orderly, bring me my cape and helmet. Stay away, I need no help in mounting. Just bring me more wine. Plugs back into their vein. Now, Roman soldiers, make ready to march. Come, Brennus, my wise slave, follow me closely with the wine bearer. Forward! So the Romans marched out, and the Vandals, wise to Roman tactics, cunningly waited in the open field. Conditions were perfect, at least the Romans thought so. At a command, they formed the famous Roman phalanx. Now the front rank of the phalanx, javelins poised, moved down the hill. And now as they approached the Vandals, they broke into a dog trot. And now the command was given. Throw! 1,000 arms moved as one, 1,000 javelins flying through the air. And almost as many Vandals fell dead or wounded. When the Vandal front rank broken, the Romans, short-sworded and unsheathed, moved into Vandal hosts, stabbing and cutting. The efficiency of the Roman army worked to the left. In the rear, Genseric, king of the Vandals, smiled in satisfaction. Behind him 1,000 horsemen waited impatiently. At a signal, the Vandal cavalry began to move across the open field, wheeled to the right, and swept quickly around the left flank of the slow-moving Roman legionaries up the hill behind the Roman army. Now it was the Vandals rushing down the hill, down onto the backs of the preoccupied Romans. Battle turned to retreat, retreat turned to rout, and many Roman soldiers met an ugly end that day. The next morning found the Roman commander, Decius, out on the desert with his wise man, Brennus, a horse, a skin of water, and a skin of wine. By the gods, Brennus, we have traveled for miles, and yet we can see the smoke of burning Carthage. Alas, Carthage is done in, and so am I. I do not think I can walk any farther. You fail me, and now this horse. Get up, you beast. Get up, crazy brute. Leave the poor creature be, drunken fool. Can't you see he dies of thirst? Slave, I told you many times not to speak out of turn. Now I'm going to leave you here with this precious horse. I shall be generous. I shall take the wineskin, and I shall leave you with the water skin. There. There's the water skin. No water, but nevertheless, a water skin. Goodbye, Brennus, my slave. You served me well. As Decius left, a strange smile played over the face of the dying Brennus, for he knew that he would have his triumph in the end. You see, only a drunken fool like Decius would take wine into the desert, for wine in the boiling heat is like liquid fire in the throat, and wine will add to and not slake the burning thirst. So went Decius across the desert, and he could no more reach Alexandria than would the Roman Empire maintain itself. High up, the buzzards followed the tiny figure below, and by afternoon they had descended, for the buzzard isn't afraid of a dead man. This is the way Decius left this world, drunk, corrupt, and without feeling for his fellow man. And as the sun set on Decius, so it did set on the empire that fed itself to death, the empire that drank itself to death, the empire that debauched itself to death. The Roman Empire. Dig, you mutinous cur! This whole crazy quest started when Mr. Edward Thatch stepped onto my schooner at Charleston. For the past 10 years since I got out of college, I had that sign tacked up on the dock. Boat for hire. Jim Maynard, master of the schooner. Algiers will sail anyone, anywhere, anytime for the proper fee. I come from an old seafaring family, but I should have pulled that sign down the moment I saw that shifty-eyed, long-legged snake. He gave me a creepy feeling from the start. But he had a chart, and he gave me $1,500 in advance to take him to his treasure trove. Although I was to do all the navigating, he wouldn't let me glimpse the yellow parchment he gripped in his hands. He directed me to sail down the coast, past Port Royal, and then some 80 miles up the Savannah River. I plotted the course on my official government chart. Then Thatch issued further directions. That's how we came into this little uncharted creek in the marshland. Thatch had me work the Algiers into the lee of a small island. He commanded me to drop anchor and put the dinghy alongside while he went down the companion way only to reappear in a moment with a shovel. I rowed to the island, and while I was hauled the boat laboriously onto the small beach covered with oyster shells, Thatch plodded up the slope of a small hillock. He seemed completely detached as I followed, shovel in hand. I watched him for a full half hour as he measured the distance from one wind-blown old cypress to another. He paced back and forth as though the terrain were familiar. He seemed to be looking for something. The day was growing humid, and the midges annoying. I was relieved when he indicated a spot for me to start digging. I pulled off my shirt as Thatch seated himself on a fallen log in the shade. He looked out his sheath knife and started to hack away at the bark on the log, but I was too busy digging to take much notice. I had dug about 6 feet deep when I started to pull my exhausted, sweating body up to the rim of the pit to rest. As I was pulling myself out, Thatch's foot caught me squarely under the chin and sent me reeling back into the hole. His eyes were livid as he growled, "Back to your digging, dog, before I slit your gullet." Stunned, I continued digging frantically until my shovel struck metal. I bent down and forgot my terror for the moment as I picked up a rusty old cutlass. Thatch quickly demanded the weapon, and I went back to digging with renewed vigor and fear. To my horror, the next spadeful brought up a bleached skull, which I immediately threw to the surface. Thatch picked it up and looked at it fondly. Laughing with sadistic glee, my shovel uncovered 3 more skeletons that fell apart upon contact. Thatch jumped to his feet, shouting, "Silas, Evan, Isaac, you kept my secret well all these years. Dig on, you dog! Uncover the chest. The gold's not much deeper." Everything is clear to me now. There's an old coin winking up at me from the sand in my shovel. The fiend that stands above me with raised cutlass is the direct descendant of Edward Thatch, or Edward Teach, who some 200 years ago was known as the bloodbath pirate Blackbeard. This devilish reincarnation of Blackbeard is scowling at me with glassy and dilated eyes. Now he's hurling obsolete oaths at me. Once I bring the treasure to the surface, he will kill me just as his merciless ancestor killed the 3 members of his crew, whose bones I've just disturbed. Dead men tell no tales. But wait, there may still be hope. For am I not the direct descendant of British Lieutenant Maynard, the man who killed Blackbeard? It was the beginning of a December night in 1840. This is the wake of an American tanker plowing across the Arctic Circle through the giant death gauntlet of the World War II, the run that struck terror into the heart of the merchant mariner. This was the Murmansk Run. The Murmansk Run, once littered with the debris and ruin of bombed and torpedoed ships. The Murmansk Run, where a man overboard froze to death in less than 60 seconds. The Murmansk Run, where no boat dared to halt even a moment for fear of prowling U-boats. That night, the SS Bunker Hill, a single screw vessel, 481 feet from bow to stern with a dead weight capacity of 12,555 tons, and a pumping rate of 4,000 barrels per hour, turned through a heavy sea carrying 88,000 barrels of high-octane avian gas, bound for Murmansk. Out of Philadelphia and across the Atlantic to Lachue, England, then over the North Sea and around the North Cape, so sailed the Bunker Hill. And at the bow watch stood Seaman Uriah Bragg. The cold, miserable, everlasting cold. Can't remember what a warm summer day was like, and no relief, just this filthy, black, cursed, cold ocean. What a fool I was to sign up for this trip with the bitter, bitter cold. They can take their war bonuses and what? Bragg, are you crazy smoking on deck? Don't you know the water is crawling with subs? Why do you think we have blackout regulations? So bloody cold up here. A man's entitled to a cigarette. Don't let me catch you at it again. Cavendish will relieve you. Now go back to your quarters. Glassy young sport was sailing before the milk was dry on his chin. First merchant marine is going to pot with these officers that aren't old enough to shave. For I'm chilled to the bone. A good steaming cup of coffee is what I need before I turn in. Hey, Cookie, haven't you got any coffee on the stove? What do you think this galley is, Bragg? A bloomin' restaurant? Coffee's in the locker and the pot's on the table. Make it yourself. Curse this ship and everything aboard. Where's a man to find comfort from the cold? May you and your poker game all rot. Smack! Out of the way, you! You knocked down the kid steward. That Bragg's a mean one. He's heading for trouble, you mark my word. Now perhaps I can get a few miserable hours sleep until my next watch. It's cold even sleeps through the blankets. Filthy shit. Filthy cold. Miserable. Filthy cold. And so night wore on. The wind abated, but now the cold settled, even more biting and unbearable than before. And soon it was time for Uriah Bragg to return to the bow watch. 7 bells. Hit the deck, Bragg. Time to spell your watch. Get away from me. Let me sleep. Cold. Tired. Come on, Bragg. 7 bells. Yank. Let that blanket go. Boom, boom, boom. Get back, Bragg. I'll cut you. That knife won't help you. Hold it, Bragg. Wispy didn't mean any harm. He's just trying to get you up for your watch. Now you better get up on deck and relieve the bow watch. Yeah, Captain wouldn't want to hear of this. Back of fools. All fools. I mustn't let them worry me. Let them worry about myself. I won't stand that bow watch and be cold this time. Here in my clothes locker I got this can of canned heat. Burn it. I can light it while I'm on watch and warm my hands. No one will be able to spot me from the bridge. I'll be hidden by the gun turret. Now I'm all set. Oh, there you are, Bragg. Thought you'd never come. Bow watch is murder. I think I'm gonna lose all my fingers and toes from this cold. You can go below now, and never you fear, I won't be cold. I'm gonna play this smart. There now, I'm all set. I'll light the sterno, and of course it'll shield it so that the glow cannot be seen. Let the officers of this filthy tub try and tell me Uriah Bragg what to do. But Uriah didn't hide all the light. Some managed to flicker past this sheltering coat. I think I'll also have me a cigarette. Just a twinkling bit of light on the black background of the vast night sea. An infinitesimal spark of light from 2 miles away. And what did it matter? There wasn't another ship on the surface of the sea for miles around to absorb the light. Nothing on the surface of the sea, but under the surface of the sea, men were watching Uriah's light with great interest, watching Uriah's light through a periscope. Only a slight, slivery wave marked the passage of the torpedo through the water, and in a moment the sea and sky were lit by flaming high-octane gasoline that shot up into the air from the torn bow of the ship and poured like liquid flame over the water. Now Uriah had all the heat he needed. Now he ran in agony, seeking the very cold he had avoided. But when he jumped into the northern sea instead of the icy water, he found flaming gasoline. The night drew to an end, and by the light of the dawn, the sea looked the same as it had the day before. Of course, there was a little more debris on the water, but this wasn't so unnatural. This was the Murmansk Run. How many of you can remember 1943? Do you remember when the Americans landed in Sicily and drove the Germans into the sea? Does the name Salerno bring back memories? Casino, the Volturno River, Anzio? It was just north of the Anzio of 1943 that we pick up our story. A story of the Italian campaign and of our weary American soldiers, and of one soldier in particular and his search. Incoming mail! Mamma mia, them Jerrys are sure trying to soften us up for something. Not much protection in this bomb crater. Woo! Woo! They seem to have let up. Okay, kid, let's set up this machine gun. We can't expect some business soon. We haven't got too much ammo, Joe. One of our carriers got bumped. Let's get it, kid. Let's get the bipod set firmly in the ground. We'll need some dirt and rocks to do this right. Give me a handful of stones, will you, kid? Joe, look here. Calm down, kid. It's only a foot of a corpse buried in the rubble. You get used to them after a while. Some poor fella caught in the air raid. Come on, kid. What do you say? Let's have a smoke. Here, have one of mine. Say, Joe, tell me something. You've been through this whole campaign, and you're one of the few fellows in this outfit who hadn't been replaced. How come they haven't sent you back for a rest, Joe? Well, I have some personal reasons for being here, kid. You see, I was born here in Italy. I lived here with my mother and older brother, Mario. My father was dead and I was young, so Mario supported the family. Mario was a good brother. He worked hard, and when he made enough money, he sent me over to America to live with some relatives. I know that deep in his golden heart, Mario wanted to live in America too, but there wasn't enough money for him to come. Well, the years passed, the war came, and we were cut off from Mario. When I got into the army, I swore to my mother and to myself that I would go back to my hometown in Italy and find Mario. I managed to get into the 48th Division, and here I am, back in Italy. But somewhere up ahead, I know, is my brother, Mario. So you see, I cannot leave the front line until I find my good brother. Joe, listen, rifle fire. I think the Germans are charging our position. Joe, look, they're coming closer. Aren't you going to open fire? No, not yet. Not. A little closer. Just a little more. Now. That stopped him. Blood under the belt and the breech, kid. Put my cigarette. Now, as you were saying, if you're looking for Mario, will you be able to recognize him when you see him? Haha, you're a cool one, kid. Yeah, I think I'll recognize him. It's been a long time, but I do remember his face. He had a kind face, but there was another thing. Mario and I had rings. Twin rings. We had our initials engraved on them. See mine? J.A.F. Joseph Angliasani. I butchered the shit out of that. Mario will be wearing his when I find him. I know it. He always wore that ring. If I see that ring, I know it'll probably be Mario that's wearing it. Heads up, kid. Here comes some Jerry's. God help us. They lobbed one of those potato mashers in here. Joe, they're creeping up the other side. Swing that gun around. It's all over, kid. I think they've given up. You can sit down now, kid. Nothing to be afraid of. Hey, come on. Kid? Dead! That's the way it's been, kid. One dirty foxhole to the next. First there was Sicily, Battle of Bloody Ridge, then Salerno, another beachhead, and then on up to the Volturno River. Who knows how many are still floating on the Volturno. After the Volturno, Casino. That was a party. When we weren't being blasted, we were freezing in the muck. Finally, the Anzio beachhead. For every square inch of ground won, a man was lost. Campo Morto, Corano, 500 miles I've been advancing through Jerry's shell fire. That's the way war is, kid. It's rough going. You meet some swell guys along the road and you lose them just as fast. Then you're sorry you ever got to know them. That's Camp Boulogne, where I was born. Up ahead, kid. That's where I left my brother, and that's where I'll find him. Then my search will be over. Better get going. No use waiting around. And so G.I. Joe Angliasani stepped out of the shell hole and continued north. For a while, the unnatural silence of the battle lull settled on the field, but not for long. Soon the gun spoke, and the torn ground was ripped again. Men long dead were killed once more, and the body that belonged to the foot protruding from Joe's shell hole was now thrown to the surface. On the hand was a ring, curious ring, and on the face of the ring were inscribed the initials M.A. And that's a wrap on this battlefield briefing, troops. Felix Lubezki signing off from SL Tonight after assaulting Two-Fisted Tales issue number 21. Remember, these EC stories ain't just ink, they're lessons from the front lines. If you survived this, hit subscribe, drop a comment on your favorite kill shot, and gear up for the next time with Frontline Combat issue number 1. Dismissed!
Listen up, you maggots! Drop your gear and tune in! I am your host, Gunnery Sergeant Felix Lubezki, and you have tuned into SL Tonight! Tonight we aren't reading bedtime stories, we're cracking open EC war stories! Two-Fisted Tales issue number 21! We've got communists hiding in the Korean mud! We've got Romans stabbing each other in the back! And we're freezing our asses off in an Arctic naval hell! Do you have what it takes to watch? Then lock it in, soldiers!